Good morning, my little weirdos. Oh my gosh, it is 6:47 a.m. the day after elections. Made a rather emotional video last night when I got home. Fed the cats, changed into this actually. It was warm because in there was periods that it got very warm. Because we had twice the amount of voters nearly than typically turn out for that precinct. Actually, for both precincts, because 2 precincts are in the polling place. New Jersey is staying true blue. New York, true blue, Mamdani. Cheryl in Jersey, Mamdani in New York. Virginia, they had things like Supreme Court, things Democrat held. And California's prop. We the people said, hell yeah. Pennsylvania things that were there. Let's just say democracy had a puddle of for the elections last night or yesterday. Democracy got hugged so hard yesterday. And I just, I got an image last night as I was drifting off to sleep. I'm going to tear up again, I know, because this is so stupid. But I had made a graphic, and you probably have seen it on the posts on did it a couple days back, and it was a picture I came across, a drawing of, whatever it is, in the center is the Statue of Liberty, and on either side are ICE agents, shielded up and everything, and she's being led away in handcuffs. And as I dropped off to sleep last night, because I just thought of that graphic, and the next thing popped into my head was like, she just broke those cuffs, and when she pulled them apart, she whacked both of them ICE agents, and was just like, with her crown, just smiling, Because that's exactly what Lady Liberty and democracy did in this effing country yesterday. I've told you before, MAGA, I had a feeling New York, New Jersey, they wouldn't let us down. I really had a gut feeling. I was stressed, but democracy did a few good punches yesterday, which means democracy, and those of us democracy-minded, we had big wins yesterday. And it's like, not a president, but these were important. Some were Supreme Court, mayors, governors. It was very in the car. I mean, it was a feasibility, possibility of those turning red. I'm just saying, it's not like they're that popular anymore. They're, again, not that popular. It's that it was too big to rig. And that's kind of what I want to say to Donald, to MagPublicans, all your too big to rig, 24 is too big to rig. Guess what? Y'all tried really hard to rig all of these. And our too big to rig trumps your, I guess, too big to rig. You did rig. And New Jersey was too big blue despite your rigging. Right after the presidential election was called, y'all screaming, "Too big to rig, you're it, you'll never get it back." Not even a year since the presidential election. Oh, the things you were laying claim to? We were on the side of too big to rig. You told us it was going to be too big to rig, just like 24. It appears you had tried rigging several of these state things because you got scared. Who is too big to rig again? Yeah, not MAGA, not Republicans. It seems when you had your little braggadocious boasting, "Oh, it's too big to rig," well, we know there were vestiges of misdoings, just not enough solid proof to charge you guys. You tried stealing, you didn't get to. You rigged enough, you got in charge. Been 9 months now? You're already losing again. I guess it was only too big to rig for 3/4 of a year. You know, for something to have such momentum and to deflate so fast, so much, guess it wasn't too big to rig in the final outcome, was it, MAGA? You still think you're dealing with my civil comrade across the aisle, my fellow member across the aisle. That was one of your fatal mistakes, Republican. You let a maniac, rapist, criminal, pedophile rule your party. You had the momentum of something new, something different, someone bombastic. I guess you're starting to learn. The biggest, the loudest, the pushiest, the bulliest is not necessarily the strongest. What's strong is being in the trenches and still fighting, while those in charge mock, taunt, and continue to gaslight you. Y'all, your little cult leader and all his little sycophant Richies, on the day of Halloween, you had that little Mar-a-Lago Great Gatsby thing. Do all of you understand what the Roaring 20 Great Gatsby era, do you recall what was their final stages? Yeah, the Great Depression. And even the rich people had to live less rich. And even they weren't happy. So, hurry up and live it up. Tear down what you can. Because blue is coming for you. And you are never going to stop truth and goodness and loving your fellow man and your fellow being on this planet. Not just humans. And until you learn the lesson, Republicans, which if you're based in bigotry and or misogyny and or racism, then until your soul decides to forgo those and cast those off, you will never know true strength. You will never know actual dedication or devotion or loyalty to a altruistic cause. Do you know what altruism is? ALTRUISM, altruism. I'm not going to tell you what altruism is. If you don't know, you have two choices. Find yourself a very, very big book, and it says dictionary on the front. It's a book of all the words in our language, in the English language, by alphabetical order, and what they mean. So you go to the A's, you look up altruism, and it tells you what it means. What? Yeah, it's a dictionary. Your choices, do that and find, or you can just Google, what does altruism mean? You don't even have to do it the old-fashioned way. But it's a very lovely experience being with books and reading an actual physical, not a digital book, a real book with pages that you turn. Oh, am I being sarcastic? Oh, you don't like it? Well, you've been doing that for what? Nigh on 9 months. Oh, it's only fun when you're not the receiver? Yeah. So typical. So typical. But you are never going to fully squash democracy. Not here. Not now. Not this country. Not this time. See, those of us who still remembered what happened, either by living through it or learning about it, what happened after, what happened during Depression, what happens. And we reminded Republican voters, or in some cases actually had to inform them, because they didn't know. Gen Zers actually aren't, some of them haven't even really been taught in detail at any grade. So you know what we did, Republicans? No, we didn't bash them or mock them or make up names for them. Oh, no, that's you. What we did was we informed them. We showed them pictures and videos. We told them where to look. Apparently they were curious enough, and they looked, and they learned. And you, my Republican friends, because I still do have civility, and once you realize that you are not in power in these states still, and you're not going to steal and grab it from us, the sooner you understand you're losing, and you will continue to lose if you support Donald or if you carry on his ideology. We have no place for that. And there's more of us in heart than you. And guess what? We're empowering those who are timid or unsure or scared to say, I'm a Democrat. We're teaching them how to do that. And you guys losing in these states yesterday, you know what that did to those people that were trying to explain that we don't have to stay on the mat and it's not over till we're not breathing? They listened. And now they're using it against you. How many bottles of ketchup did Donald break last night? I'm not on his stupid little, this is my page, everybody look at me company. You know, I don't go there. But I hear and I see people posting things from there, and oh, you've been very busy on your stupid little platform. Oh, have you talked to widow Mikey Gwinda Johnson yet? Hey, Mike Johnson. Oops. I think you better open the government up. You are Speaker of the House. You are who put Congress in session or out of session. And all your lies about the Democrats are keeping the government shut down were far too obvious lies. Because when Democrats get desperate, we get angry. And when we get angry, we fight like hell. See, Republicans are snowflakes and racist and bigots and misogynists and bullies. And when they get angry, they take a pissy fit. Fire people, break stuff, bomb other countries. None of which is going to help you. In fact, he's hurting you every minute. He has ruined your Republican Party where it cannot be mended. Your party has been so... Donald Trump has been raping your party for a decade. And you have been willing to allow him to keep plundering and raping the Republican name until it has been crushed, rolled, and buried in the mud. You won't have, and if you keep it as a Republican Party, last night, yesterday's elections, get used to seeing D, whoa, R, little tiny. You either take back your party and reform it without Donald or any of the current administration, or you are going to not only lose your original party, but every effing election you hold. You're going to start losing it in red states because they're finding out that you've been lying to them. They, the red states, they are the biggest SNAP needers. I'm SNAP dependent, but I'm in a blue state which we produce more than our citizens need. Red states underproduce for their states, which means excesses from California and New York and New Jersey's revenue, that tax dollars that went to the federal, that's going to programs. So people in Jersey, California, all the blue states are funding those programs that y'all, southern states and red states, Texas, Georgia, Florida, I can continue. you're able to manage because the blue states who produce excess of what their people need, from teeny states to Jersey to huge states like California and the New York Island. Oh, sorry. My voice is so gone from yesterday. You are never going to sweep another election in the party that you currently are. This election was the rest of the break that they see. Because all of your elects, and you know who's especially guilty of this? Little Mike Grinder Johnson. The more desperate he became, the more he emphasized the word Democrat. And he may have been doing it deliberately or subconsciously, but if he was doing it deliberately, he was overacting, overemphasizing, to where even the people that are blinded by a cult were starting to see, that sounds kind of wrong, because every time you went on camera, us creators, a lot more of us than you, went on afterwards, and we said, Mike Johnson said this, he's lying. Mike Johnson said, we're not the ones, they're the ones who have the power. We went on and said, the Republicans have the majority on the executive branch. They run that. They have the majority, as slight as it is, on the houses, the two houses of Congress. About 2/3 of the judicial branch, SCOTUS, Supreme Court of the United States, 2/3 of that are pro-MAGA. How did you lose so much yesterday if 2.5 wings out of 3 are absolutely held by the Republicans? Y'all spent 9 months going, we got a mandate. Most of the country voted for us. We can do whatever we want. We don't need Congress's approval because we won by a mandate. And little Grinder Johnson has spent the last 2 or 3 weeks saying, we don't have the majority. They keep saying we do, but we still need 7 or 9 or whatever Democrats to pass anything because of the rules. There were times that Democrats were 10, 12 people down. They managed to turn around. Oh, we tell the truth. What is your Bible? Oh, the truth will set you free. Maybe that's why your arms are starting to be a little snugly bound every day. Because the truth will set you free. See, that's what happens when you pretend to be Christians and spout off some things and aren't a true Christian. Don't practice what you preach. You get caught. And then you start getting the walls closing in. Those walls are the liberal progressives you hate. And all you did was energize those of us who are deeply, deeply devoted to making sure you and me and all of us continue to have the freedoms and the unbiasedness that is running amok under the Trump administration. You may win the battles, you've won some battles. You are not going to win the war. And it's only been 9 months since you've had the presidency. Oh, how quick the evil fall. To the rest of the Americans that are of the progressive liberal persuasion, well done. Well done. Yeah, I'm tearing up again. Well done. In fact, there you go. I'll just do this. Hey, Republicans. We're coming for you. And you know how we're coming for you? Election official, may I help you? Yes, ma'am. We absolutely can help you regain your freedoms. Follow us. Y'all, have an incredibly blue day today. Peace out.